I'm Lola Mohamed with Voice of America Middle East, and right now I'm speaking with Kulsoom Abdullah, who is the Muslim American female weightlifter from Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks for being with us, Kulsoom.
Thanks for having me.
So you were worried, concerned for a couple of weeks because you didn't really know the status of whether or not you'd be able to compete in the USA Nationals. So now that the International Weightlifting Federation has, passed out their statement saying that you can compete, how does it feel now that, you've basically had this major success?
Well, I was really happy to find out, because now it means I can go to other competitions. Unfortunately, the Nationals are next week, so it's a lot of last-minute preparations, and it's a little bit hectic, but I'm hoping that everything will just fall through, and once I get there and compete, it'll be fine.
When this all started, I think you mentioned that it started in around October or November, which is when you were, first, I guess your first appeal was rejected. When did you reach the point where you thought, I've had enough of this and I really want to take matters into my own hands? When did you reach that point?
I don't think I actually reached that point exactly. I think that after the first competition, I wasn't really sure about doing something, but then when I had talked to some friends who knew lawyers, and they said, well, you might have a chance, and I thought I would write that letter to USA Weightlifting. So it was just something I tried, and then when they said no, and their reasoning was because of the IWF rules, I asked around about that, and then from asking around, CARE found out about my story, and so they said, well, we'd like to help you and work on your behalf. So I thought, well, it's not going to hurt to try. So basically this whole time it was just something that I thought, whatever happens, I'm just going to try and just see. And then when the whole, the press release went out and the press found out, and then CARE talked to the USOC, and then they talked to IWF, that's how my appeal even got to them. And then I was able to submit a presentation, which basically was just trying to explain the clothing and different options and such. And before they made the decision, I just thought I'll see what they say. And then they made it at the end of the meetings, and I was pretty happy. And so that was pretty much it. I think I knew it was just something I had to try. It was it was going to be just their decision and up to them.
Right. You have gotten a lot of media attention in the past several weeks. Was that something you were expecting? And do you think the media attention has helped your cause in any way?
I expected a little bit, but not that much. But I think, yes, it did help, because a lot of people didn't know about the situation, and I think it brought a lot of awareness, and I think that it helped as far as being able to get my appeal to the IWF, because I wouldn't have been able to get it to them myself.
Okay. We've heard a lot recently about, other governing bodies that haven't been as, I guess, inclusive in a sense compared to the IWF. I mean, for example, the International Football Federation Association, FIFA, prevented the Iranian women's soccer team from playing against Jordan. And, there seems to have been a number of cases where this has come up in the past month. So what's your take on that? Is that discrimination? Is that a trend in your opinion? And do you think that your case is sort of a rare exception to the trend, if there is one?
Well, I think there's a couple of factors. One is that there haven't been that many Muslim women that, covering the head and the body and everything, that are participating in sports. I think that's kind of a new trend as well. So I think that a lot of governing bodies or sporting associations just haven't maybe considered it. And but I know of examples where they have allowed women to cover, like in the track and field. And then I'd heard about the boxing federation. They're sponsoring a team of women from Afghanistan to compete, and some of them are going to be wearing the hijab and the head covering and such. So as far as the FIFA example, I don't know exactly what happened with that, because from what I was aware, it seemed like they were able to wear it, and then something happened, so I'm not really sure. So it seems like it's a mixed thing. It's not just something that's people are just saying no and it's negative. I think it's because it's just a new situation, and some people are, sports are just handling it in different ways. I hope that people in general and the sporting bodies would consider these kind of issues so that they can include more people in the sports. I think it's something that would, it would just be beneficial. And I think it carries over into other aspects of life, and that's a way to get people together. And I know some people, they feel, this is something that's just changing the rules or changing the way things have always been, but if people could change their attitudes about that, that would be good.
Great. Thank you so much, Kulsoom, for joining us today.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, bye.